Hey everyone, back with our best friend Moodle. That's how I end up starting class in person too, is talking about our best friend Moodle. So I'm a little bit ahead here, but I wanted to create this video so you would have an idea of how to submit certain assignments. I realize the way it's put into Moodle because of this tool and everything, it puts it where you can mark it as done and it'll go into the gradebook. If you do that, I will go back and correct it. It's no problem. So don't stress out if I see something that's done in error. I will fix it. If I don't see it right away, just bring it to my attention. It will get fixed. But what I want to do today is talk about how you're going to turn in a lab like this one. This one right here is one of the Carolina Biological Labs. It will say something like external tool, and then I'll have a lab name. I'll try to call it out as a Carolina lab. Let me just point out some of the other things that are here in Moodle just so you can see. If you see file, that's not an assignment. It's just something I'm giving you, like the notes for the chapter. So hooray. You might see this external tool and it'll say McGraw-Hill. That's will take you to McGraw-Hill Connect, so that'll be our smart book and some virtual labs. Ooh, spoiler alert, here we have our Unit 1 test coming up. And then if you see here something that says assignment, it'll look like this. This is a place where you're going to turn something in. So there may be something attached here. This may be a place where you turn something in. In this case, this is where you're going to turn in the document from this lab, the Cell Structure and Function Lab. So what I'm going to do is click on it. I'll show you how you go through a little bit of the lab. I don't think I can show too much because it's proprietary from Carolina. I'll make this video private so that way it doesn't interfere with any copyright anything. But I won't go through the whole lab, obviously. And then, but at the end, I'll show you what the lab notebook looks like and then direct you to turn that in. So let's take a look right here. So you're going to click on it. It'll open in a new tab. You'll see save and exit. Uh-oh, my head is in a terrible location because right here, if you can see where it shows right there, next, that's where you click to go next. So sorry, my head's in the way of the button. You should read. I know people don't like to read. I know we're all very busy. I understand. But you should definitely read the information here, especially because as we go through, you'll see some of the questions that will be on these things will be regarding the information that you've read. So as we go through, you can see, I like when it asks me, why should I care? Because I get that question a lot. So you should go through, read the background. This is going to review for you a lot of the things that are covered in the chapter, in this case, chapter 4. You'll see questions. You have to answer them correctly in order to be able to move on. In fact, you cannot complete the lab if you have answered any of the questions incorrectly. And all of the information can be found in the background information in reading the lab. So just be aware of that. If you get really stuck, you can look it up in some other way. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause my video. I'm going to advance through this lab a little bit and get to the point where you can see this, the lab notebook. That's going to be the thing that you're going to end up turning into me. So let me, I'm not bad with technology, but I'm not great. Let me pause my recording and I will come back. And when I'm back, I'll show you how to utilize Lab Notebook. I just wanted to unpause for a second and point out, because this is one of the labs that you'll be doing from your lab kit. Exciting. It shows you the items that you need from your lab kit right here. They shall be bagged in something that says Cell Structure and Function Lab, and you should see all of these things there. So it shows you what's included, and then if there's anything that's not supplied. So water, timer, paper towels, something to take some pictures with, something to keep your hands from getting burnt. So just so you know, that helps you look and make sure you have all the correct materials, which you should. They should become pre-packed in the kit and it should be fine. So We're getting to the lab notebook. I'll pause and be right back. Okay, we're back. I I had to go through those questions. It didn't take me that long, but I don't want you to have to sit through all that. So now we're on the activity part. Uh-oh, technical difficulties. Okay, should be fixed. Wonderful. So now what we're going to do is kind of take a look at the beginning part of the lab. After you go through the pre-lab, answer the questions, and get some background knowledge, then you'll have access to things like the lab notebook. And so you can write certain things, look up certain terms, get some resources. But when you open the lab notebook, it'll ask for your name. Is my name. And then it's going to allow you to type into these things. So it's going to allow you to type what you need to type. You can answer these questions here. I'm just going to go through. Now, as they go through the steps, it's going to say attach a photo. So if you take a picture with your phone and it uploads to like Google Photos or something, you should have access to it, be able to download it onto your computer and boop, pop it into there, or pop it right in from your Drive. So just to click on it so you can take a look. Ooh, this has my my files right on my computer, so that's how that will work. But let me show you the steps really quickly as we go through here. So if you look here, it's going to tell you to prepare. It shows you a timer when you need to do a time of things. It's going to take it's going to show you a little camera when you need to take a picture to kind of show you what things are going to look like. So just make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. Take plenty of pictures. One thing I do ask is that in at least some of the pictures of you doing stuff, you don't have just like your hands working. Have a picture of your face holding up the thing. Why? This lets me know it's actually you doing the lab, and that's the important thing to me, is that you get this experience, and then I can make sure to attach credit to you. It's hard to tell if there's just hands who's doing what. So let's kind of continue on with this lab notebook really quickly. It'll show you so on, take pictures. Now we're at the end. So notes here, you could ask questions, you could make a little bit of comments. You could say maybe something didn't work right. You could say, I knew I was supposed to see such and such, but I didn't, and it could be because these reasons. So the notes are a place for you to add anything, any sort of comment to me. If you want to check to make sure I'm reading it, that's where the notes go. Now the last thing, and this is where it might be something new. You're going to hit print. Miss Huff, I don't have a printer. Yep, don't worry about it. This computer that I'm on also doesn't have a printer. It did. But you should be able to do something like this. Do you see where it says destination? I can change this to save as a PDF. So I can print this lab as a PDF. And so essentially what you're doing is, instead of printing out the paper, you're saving it as a file, a PDF, that you then will upload. So I know my head's in the way. I can't move this little window and I can't move my head. But this will say print right here or save. You will end up getting an option of where you'd like it to go. Usually we'll go into someplace like downloads or files or something. And then that's what you're going to upload. So once you have completed the lab, answered all the questions, uploaded all the photos, I skipped all that because in the interest of time. Once you have that file, that's what gets uploaded here. So that's the actual assignment. That's the actual thing that's going to be graded. If it pops up twice for some reason, this is the thing that's going to be graded. That's the thing that's going to matter, and I'll do all the stuff on my end to make sure that there's not some weird thing going on. So that is how I'd like you to submit those Carolina labs to me. If you have questions or need clarification, I will do my best, but I'm hoping this video will answer the majority of your questions on how to do that. If you're like, I can't start the lab, it could be that you didn't get one of the questions right, And I know that sounds weird, but you have to get all the questions right in order to be able to start. That shows that you've read the lab. And have kind of taken in some of that information. There's not like a punishment for getting it wrong, like you don't lose points, but you won't be able to actually know how to do the assignment until you do that. I guess at worst case scenario is trial and error. If you get it wrong 4 times, then you have to get it right the 5th time. So um, I hope that this video, even though it was a little choppy, helped you understand how to submit the Carolina Labs. I will make sure that there is like an assignment button for you to turn those in. So you don't need to worry about turning anything here. If you click mark as done, it might do something to the assignment, but you don't need to worry or anything about that. This is the actual assignment that I'm going to be grading. Nothing can get turned in that spot. It's just a link to the lab. I'm not sure exactly why Moodle puts it into the gradebook like that, but that's why it's like that. So please reach out with any questions or if you need clarification, and I will be happy to do my best to walk you through this. But I think that you will be just fine doing this type of lab. Okay, well, I will talk to you soon. Thank you.